Cal came into my life kind of in a rough time. I was going through a separation and looking for something to brighten up and bring joy to my days. And I reached out to one of the girls that works in the clinic, who's my friend Amber, and said to keep her eye out for me for somebody who might be like a long-term foster, an orthopedic foster, something that, wasn't just going to be like, not to anything against little kittens, but something a little bit more challenging, and would be with me for a couple weeks at least, and in need of help.
He had an FHO, which is a femoral head ostectomy, where for whatever reason genetically his hip joints were not working properly, so they had to cut off the ball of the hip and allow that to heal. They get generally a week or two of just resting and healing after the surgery, and then from there they get slowly introduced into different therapies. Stretches, hot and warm compresses, all kinds of different therapies for recovery.
Oh my gosh, Cal is the sweetest dog ever. He comes in, he's been through a whole lot, and he's come a really long way, but he always comes in and he's ready to do his therapy. So Cal's been doing a lot of modalities to try to heat up his muscles so that we're able to stretch them, and some pain management modalities. So electrical stimulation, laser, and then he's been doing a lot of land exercises as well as the underwater treadmill.
He became a member of the family. He met Nick. Nick was at work with me the first day he came in for his appointment, so he met Nick, my other dog. They tussled around and they played, and everything went really smooth. He became a family member with my cat as well, Cupcake, who came from the Humane Society as my foster and foster failed. And then, of course, my daughter, who is 7 years old and has become definitely glued to the hip.
Cal has been here every week, and I think he's perfect for our family. I just want to keep him safe because he's my favorite foster dog.
I used to foster neonates, couple weeks old, couple months old. I've taken hospice fosters that have spent their last couple of years off in my life. Most recently, I've been taking a lot of the orthopedic fosters, the ones who need rehab, who have had broken hips and needed just kind of low impact, gentle, like kind of calm home to live in. Most all of my orthopedic fosters have gone through the rehab program at Blue Pearl and done the either 6-week or 10-week program of rehabilitation. And then I take them home and I do at-home exercises and all that too. He is doing amazing. It was a rough go in the beginning. We thought that after the first surgery, and he was at the Humane Society, and it took him a couple weeks. I know a lot of the volunteers were working with him, and he just wasn't using that leg. They gave him about 3 weeks, and he started rehab, and it just wasn't really getting any improvements. And so he met with our surgeon, and they deemed that he needed more surgery. Just the trauma he'd gone through was more extensive than I think they originally thought. Then after the surgery, he was starting to use the leg, which was good, but then all his muscles tightened up and he needed sedated stretching, and they went through 2 sessions of that. Since the sedated stretching and his rehab, he probably uses the leg about 80 to 90% of the time that we go on walks and stuff. And in his underwater treadmill treatments, he uses it 100% of the time, so that's really been going great.
I met Candelero. I was notified by the kennel manager that he was ready to start some of his post-operative rehabilitation exercises and stretches. So I went back to his kennel, and as I got near the kennel, I could hear a little bit of a thumping of a tail, and opened up the kennel, and he poked his head up. His ears went up, and he greeted me, which is pretty remarkable given the surgeries and the stress and the fact that he came in as a stray. It was really apparent that he was a pretty exceptional dog right from the outset. If you're here frequently and you've been here a long time, you always have a few that tend to be your favorite at the time, but sometimes you get a dog that's truly exceptional, which is how I came to know Candelero.
Shae's boot camp is legit, okay? It's legit. And Cal would not be where he's at right now if it were not for Shae. 100%.
After he's all healed, I have been pretty good at not being a foster fail. But this kiddo has most definitely won my heart, won my family's heart, and has just found his little niche. I couldn't imagine telling him that the home that he has found and made himself so much of a big part of my home is no longer home, so he is going to become a part of my family.